All right, folks, we're back on Wade's World, and the situation with Akaash Singh and his wife is getting worse. And I didn't believe I could even see that after we saw the various things that Akaash Singh's wife did and continues to do to disrespect that man, stomp all over his name, and essentially act as though he is her slave. In a sense, I mean, he buys her nice shit. She doesn't do anything really for him. She doesn't cook. She doesn't clean. She doesn't contribute to his life in any other way other than sex, I guess. And funny enough, that was supposed to be the thing that was sacred between those two. And normally I wouldn't really be getting involved in people's personal lives, but she made it personal, and so kind of did he on the internet, talking about how they were both virgins by the time they were married. Turns out that wasn't true, pretty much like every other word that comes out of the mouth of Akaash Singh's wife, and she had been ran through more times than a finish line in her college days.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
According to her, her own entire back had been blown out multiple times by white dudes in frats. After Akaash had been waiting and looking, searching for a perfect girl of his culture, she had been out getting the freaking white boy culture, the barstool sports culture, while the Sigma Chi boys were having a good time. It is awful, and she's proud of it, but there's more. And I don't understand how this man right now is not contemplating at least sitting down and having a talk with his lady, but at most protecting himself and getting the fuck out of this situation. If it's even possible to salvage what's left of his money, dignity, and pride, but we got to talk about it. Akaash Singh continues to get humiliated and embarrassed by his gold-digging wife. Part 2, let's go. All right, so the updates here are pretty simple. Akaash right now is out in India, Dubai, somewhere, I'm not sure, but he's out of the country. And I guess he has addressed the situation from a show a couple of days ago, I want to say. Let me see when this Reddit post came out. This is from 3 days ago on the Flagrant 2 Reddit forum, and it says, "This is Akaash's response to the controversy. As predicted, he will defend his wife and stay with her. It clearly affected him a lot." Now, this is the opinion of one Redditor, so don't take everything as fact, but let's read this. "I went to the 7 p.m. show last night, and it was extremely awkward. He was clearly not processing this situation well and ended the set 20 minutes early." Now, I'm no frequenter of stand-up comedy spots on a nightly basis, but how long is a set? Because it feels like they don't go for like an hour each, right? Maybe they do, but usually I hear you get like 20 minutes there, 30 minutes here. So did this guy get on stage and talk for like 15 minutes and then dip set out of there with people that were wanting to hear his full set? I don't know. But that already is like, damn, my man was clearly not focused on the comedy and focused on some other things. He said, "I only found out about his wife the day of the show, and honestly, after seeing that set basically be his therapy moment about it, I am way more suspicious of controversy than before. This is clearly something he's insecure about, even though he tried way too hard to make it seem like he wasn't." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the evidence that we're getting in pretty much every interaction that we're seeing from Akaash and his wife, including this one. I'm going to mute the music, but here's his wife posting a TikTok right beside him saying to everyone, saying, "My husband should divorce me." We didn't sign a prenup. Disrespecting him right in his fucking face. I mean, again, not everybody has to sign a prenup, but the fact that she's willing to record that, have him be involved in it, and post it on TikTok right in his fucking face, I'd be having trouble processing it as well, dude. Then you have this TikTok from someone named DuckQuack99. Here is Akaash trying to make a fun little TikTok or video with his wife, and she's going to go ahead and curve that kiss. Yeah, no, you ain't getting that. Sorry, buddy. Here's a proposal that Akaash did out in public somewhere where, you know, we got the ring. Oh. Fuck, man. Come on. Oh, not in slow motion. Oh, no, dude. Come on. Come on. The signs were there. This is at the proposal. You getting curved at the proposal. You know what? I have a theory about this marriage. I have a theory about this entire relationship. Apparently, They got married when Akaash was 31, she was 22. And this was apparently after she had had her time in college and the whole getting ran through and wakes up with her asshole in pain. Again, her words, not mine. Very graphic, I know. But this girl was laying on more beds than a curious customer at a mattress depot. Come on, dude. Talking about I'm a virgin. What really happened with this Jasleen girl, his wife, in my opinion, I don't know the full backstory, but in my opinion was she had her whore time in college. She was out getting freaked up with all the frat boys and everything else, she said. She probably didn't find love doing all that. And because of that, she comes home after college, and I'm sure she has parents with a certain specific idea of what she should be and who she should be with and her values and everything else. And they probably told her, hey, go find a good Indian man. Shares our culture, something like that. And she found Akaash. Or he found her. I'm not sure how it happened. But this is what we'd call the settle marriage. The point in her life where she got her fun out before the marriage, and because he has money and access and wealth and means and clout, she then can live that second life, which is boss bitch, not having to do anything, not having to lift a finger, and live the rich and privileged life. But she still can't find it within herself to even fake like she's into this. And that's so sad.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Daria, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
Oh, come on.
Liar.
I mean, not even on the cheek. Not even a little nibble on the ear. She's playing better defense than Darrelle Revis in 2009. This is better defense than Revis Island. Gary Payton was named the glove and couldn't play better defense. This is fucking crazy. Insane that we're seeing this kind of curvatry. Geometry professors need to ask her about the curve she's putting down right now, because the slope of it could open up the fucking fourth dimension, son. Just get out of here.
That's a friend.
Oh my
No,
God.
I don't want those gifts.
I know. Why not?
I don't care about, I like tangible goods.
Nah.
Dog, she is just fucking, I mean, bro, she's fucking flaunting it in his face. She's giving him the freaking chin tuck. By the way, I've been a boxing commentator for years now. There are boxers that can't tuck their chin faster than she did, while telling him, I don't like them type of gifts. You better be getting me some tangible shit, or else you're not getting that kiss. You see that shoulder high and the chin tucked underneath it? She ain't getting knocked out. In fact, she ain't even getting knocked up unless it means she gets more money out of this fucking situation.
I don't care about.
Oh my God, dude. So that is something that, again, I wanted to show you. And by the way, apparently there was a second proposal. I don't know how this is even possible, but we're going to watch it. This is why you can understand when this person, again, if they went to a show a couple of days ago that Akaash was on stage at, you can understand why they'd say, hey, you know what? He's clearly not processing this. He's clearly insecure about it. Would those interactions not make you insecure as a man, genuinely? Would that not make you insecure about how your wife felt about you if you went in for a kiss after you've just proposed and she hit you with the curve? She hit you with the see you later, head off center line, freaking head movement, like, and not the kind we want, gentlemen. This would make me insecure. Not to mention, apparently, there is a second proposal. Sir, a second proposal has hit the TikTok. Here it is.
All of this is possible because you told me I could do anything that I wanted. And the best decision I ever made in my entire life was to marry this woman right here. His birthday it is in 2 weeks.
2 days. Got the birthday wrong. Akaash, rethink that sentence, sir. This moment, things could have changed for the better. Your life could have changed for the better had you not done this.
And I love you so much, and the only regret that I have is that I only got to marry you once. So I want to make a little quick announcement that we're going to get married again. We're going to renew our vows in India next year. Do you girls want to come to that? Does that sound fun? And since I am renewing my vows, I think the only thing you can do is propose again.
Oh.
Look at the way she looks at the ring. Now, again, this is a very sweet thing for Akaash to do, and this is why I feel bad, because he does look and sound like a hopeless romantic. He looks like a guy that is exactly what he has said he is. A guy that didn't have sexual intercourse before he was married. A guy that truly thought he was in love or thinks that he is in love with his wife and that she shares the same feelings. I don't get that from watching her. But this is a guy that just wants to find true love. And that's very sweet in ideological standards, but in theory is not in real life. And in real life, he is getting played like a fucking fiddle. Look at the way she just immediately, no look at him right away, no kiss, immediately eyes dart to the ring to make sure it's the carat of diamond that she requested for this whole thing.
Ghislaine Singh.
Look at her.
Will you be Ghislaine Singh forever again?
Yes.
Look at, what is this? Kiss the man.
Oh my God.
She took the full box out of his hand to look at it more.
Take that drinky thing off. That drinky dink.
Did you guys know this? Yes. Oh my God. How big is this?
Again, there's nothing wrong with having a big ring for your wife. There's nothing wrong with spoiling your wife, but when this is the reaction, and again, it's not, look at his face, dude. Look at his face. Slowly but surely realizing what the important thing to her was here. And it's not giving him a kiss. It's not looking him in the eye. It's not having an interaction, a moment where we talk about couples really strengthening their bond and we're going to renew our vows and this is for you, babe. All she can do for the last minute is look at this ring. When's the last time she looks at him? She looks at him right there when he says, take that rinky thing off. And before that, she doesn't have eye contact with him. Look at this. All for the cameras. From this moment, 30 seconds goes by before she looks at him again. It's all at the ring, at the cameras. Look at, he's even like trying to talk to her and he's like, look at me. He's like asking her, will you be my wife forever? And she's like, let me look for the cameras and look at this big ass ring. Oh my God. Again, I don't like to cast judgment on people that I don't know, but I've seen enough here to think this poor guy, and I hesitate even saying that because you've made this bed, now you got to lay in it. Wake the fuck up, Akaash. This lady is superficial. She's see-through. She's vapid. And she only wants your money. She only wants what you can give her outside of the actual relationship. But she's told you she wants tangible things. She wants rings. She wants purses. She wants trips. She wants vacations. She wants nights out. Not so you can look at her, but so everybody else can look at her and what she's wearing and all the nice things she has and think, wow, she must be important, because that's what really matters to her. And you can see it in every interaction they have.
Did you guys, my goodness.
Big enough for you to shut up every time I tell you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no, she did it again. We have to send out a freaking 5150 for this guy, dude. They said he hasn't been on Twitter in 3 weeks, and I'm not even joking. We need to do a wellness check on this man. APB, because this is insane. Genuinely. She hits him with the nastiest freaking avoidance I've ever seen. Yeah, bring it in. Let's get a kiss. Psych, hold this cheek.
What do you say? This is so good. God, it looks so good.
But they're asking her, like, it's his family. They're like, what do you say? Because she still hasn't said thank you. And again, she's just going on about the ring. No kiss. She didn't even give the man a kiss, dude. I can't even.
You were sitting in her lap and then you peed on her.
Unbelievable. So again, as we go back to this Reddit post, I ask you guys, would you not feel insecure after we watched her in the last episode talk about another man's penis for like 5 minutes while the other guy was sitting there in front of her husband and say how hot he was and how he had big dick energy and how she just knew his dick was big and that she wanted to have an orgy with him? You would think that would be the worst. But no, even in some twisted mind, you would think maybe they're joking. But no, that's not what's happening. This is a full-on humiliation ritual that she is perpetuating against her husband because she fucking can. Because he'll sit there like a good boy and take that shit. Oh, it pisses me off, dude. I want to grow some balls for that guy. I want Akaash to grow balls, and I want to help him do it, but I can't. We continue. He spent the first 10 to 15 minutes of the set talking about the controversy, how his wife has been loyal to him and everything she has been saying is, quote, just jokes, and is fine with him. No one in the crowd knew how to take this information, and I truly believe that the majority of fans there had no idea any of this was going on. This only made him spending like 1/3 of his set on it even more awkward. Another thing we have to realize is what we do online here is not the reality of what the rest of the world is, right? He's in an online controversy right now because his wife is clearly taking advantage of his very friendly, romantic, and downright submissive behavior. But most of the people that are fans of him from the comedy or whatever may not be on YouTube all the time. Maybe they know him from strictly stand-up comedy. And so projecting that onto these people for 1/3 of his set, yeah, it shows me again that the guy's clearly bothered by it, no matter how many times he says he's not. It's like the old, like, I'm above. It's like when people, it's the classic case of people being like, I'm not bothered by that, but I'm going to continue telling you for the next 20 minutes how unbothered I am to show you that I'm clearly unbothered. He then proceeded to jokingly call his wife a whore every time he brought her up, which was just not helping. He's letting the trauma go in real time. It's seeping out at the comedy shows. I mean, and by the way, fair play. She's been over here talking crazy shit on her TikTok. He should be able to get out his trauma in stand-up form. I think it ruined his whole set, and the mood never recovered, which is why I think he ended it early. I honestly don't give a fuck about he or his wife's sex life, but the orgy stuff is really just jokes, in quotes. Then clearly he's not cool with it and hides it, and or she's just not very funny and no one close to her has told her yet. Curious to hear how anyone else went to the later sets, had a better experience. He's in San Fran till Monday. So that was, I guess, over the weekend. And yeah, that's super fucking embarrassing. And again, I wanted to make this video because there just seems to be more and more evidence of this relationship being a complete and utter fraud on at least one side of things, right? Not in the case of Akaash, who seems like he is really in that shit for love. And I hate that the poor guy is continuing to just let this stuff happen. But when your wife is talking about these kinds of things and she continuously brings it up and continuously undermines you and only talks about the things that she genuinely wants in this relationship, at least she's being honest. But when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Here she is, I guess, talking about the fact that she is in this relationship for just the money.
I think I'm like 57 now to like 43 female to male, and I'm like so happy. Like, get that toxic shit out of here. I was trying to find the comments on the prenup video I made, but I ended up blocking a lot of those guys because they're fucking toxic anyways, and like my page is just for the girls. And also, like, I was half kidding, but the fact that they take it so fucking seriously, like, okay, like if my partner wanted to come to me and have like a reasonable conversation, like obviously I would hear him out. But it's like, also, fuck you. Like, if you think I'm just in it for the money, okay, yeah, I'm in it for the money. But the funniest thing to me is like when guys think it's insulting to call me mid. Like, beauty is subjective. Like, why would I be offended if you call me mid? Like, you're basically just saying, okay, I find you of average attractiveness, but you're just not attractive to me. God fucking forbid. Like, why would I want to be attractive to you that you go out of the way to like comment on a girl's video to try to like crush her self-esteem? Like, you're not doing anything to me. So I just think it's just like so funny. Like, the only...
Okay, this is clearly part of the problem. Number one, she's kind of joking there when she says, okay, well, if you think I'm in it for the money, then sure, I'm in it for the money. But you can't really joke about that when you clearly, by your own standard of every single time we see you interact with your husband, either care about his money, the things he can buy you, the way he can, quote, spoil you, the trips you can go on, the places that you want to go with the new clothes on, the double proposal and new ring, all of that. Let's put that aside. Did you see how the biggest reason she made this video was to tell everybody who said she was mid, insulting her looks, calling her average attractiveness? That was the entire point of the video. She cared more that a couple of guys were in her comments section that she had to block calling her mid than she cares about the things being said about her wanting a prenup. And that's because when she sits here, and this is again another example of sitting there acting like, oh, I don't care. Why would I care about you calling me mid? Why would I care about how attracted you are to me? while dedicating a full 1.5-minute video to the people that called her mid. Now, a normal person would say those things to themselves. Who cares what another guy that's not my husband thinks about my attractiveness level? But she clearly does care what other guys that aren't her husband think about how attractive she is. Take that for what you will, but that to me is another red flag as to someone that cares more about the aesthetic of being married than she cares about the actual attraction she has to her mate, and more so how people that she doesn't know, that she'll never meet, think about her attractiveness. Fucking dumb.
Person that I want to think that I'm like a 10 out of 10 or like a 12 out of 10 is my husband. And like if other people think I'm like reasonably attractive, like, okay, that's great, but like, why the fuck would I care if you think I'm averagely attractive? Like, you're just saying you're averagely attractive. Like, why is that insulting? Like, they're so fucking dumb.
If she didn't find it insulting, then she wouldn't have made the video to complain about them insulting her. I mean, it's just like the logic runs over itself. She calls these people that call her mid dumb while also chastising them for calling her mid and then qualifying it by saying, well, even if you called me mid, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to spend the next hour telling you it does. Very odd. Another instance of, again, just, I don't know, embarrassment. Oh, and there's this gem of a podcast clip where she goes into her personal sex life with her husband on a podcast platform and continues to embarrass him and humiliate him.
I also asked, what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
Wow. I actually have a lot of respect because I don't think I would be able to do that, number one. And number two, my OCD would never, in my intrusive thoughts, like it would keep getting
No, I sometimes think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I
Yeah.
could never do that.
Yeah.
Just openly admitting that she can't get off by means of having sex with her husband, so she needs to watch porn while she's using her vibrator. And again, I'm not here to shame anyone's personal life, but did that really need to be said? She just made a video talking about how people come into her comment section and try to bring down her self-esteem while going on her own podcast to tell the world that the man that she's with, her husband who did not have sex with anyone else before he married her, can't get her off, and she needs to go watch porn to get it done. How fucking embarrassing and rude and condescending, and it probably is true, but why would you say that? How much are we supposed to think you have respect for your husband when you're doing shit like that? And a matter of fact, how are we supposed to think you have any self-respect at all for yourself when you're talking about that shit? That's rough, man. That's rough. Now, again, we're just going to look at a couple more clips to really nail home this point of how much of a slime ball this girl is and how she has no actual concept of a working, loving relationship that requires two people and that requires genuine feeling toward each other and not just some superficial, tangible reward system that she gets for being married to her husband. And it, again, is all based around monetary value of items she receives. And anyone that questions that is, of course, broke. But not her, though. Not the girl that doesn't work a job, that doesn't clean or cook or do anything. She has the platform and the ivory tower to talk down on everybody else. But, of course, the rest of us, we're the ones that just don't get what it means to take care of a woman. Let's hear a couple of these.
How do you and your husband split finances?
We don't.
We don't.
If you want to work, all for that. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his account, that's a fucking red flag. His money is our money and my money is my money. I know.
His money is our money and my money is my money. I shouldn't have to say anything else outside of the openly flirting with men in front of her husband and talking about getting ran through and having orgies that he can join in if he wants, but I want your buddy right there with a 10-inch schlong because he gives off the alpha energy that you've never had. You're not even beta, you're fucking zeta. And let's just ignore the fact that they don't have a prenup because she brought so much to the table that we're about to find out. But then you get to this. His money is our money and my money's my money. She says that because she has no fucking money. That's like saying, what's a million times zero? It's fucking zero. You have no money, so it's easy to say, well, yeah, I'm not going to share any of my money because you don't have any. But you have all the money, so you should share with me. Backward ass, selfish ass lie.
Red flag. His money is our money and my money is my money. I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money, and they ended up being terrible in other aspects, and like people ended up breaking up and divorces. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one. That means paying for the first date and everything. I know that it's rough out there, inflation. Like, I'm not saying to just like waste it on every single girl, but if a girl is special, you should be courting her properly.
I don't disagree that girls worth courting are out there. You, ma'am, are not one of them. Talking about your money is your money and my money is your money. That's not how it works. Yes, I will court the right girl when she shows that she is worth courting. Yes, I will be the most generous of all chivalrous men and pay for dinners and pay for lunches and breakfasts and hold doors and do everything my mom taught me to do, but I certainly won't just do it when there is nothing, and I mean nothing, being reciprocated in the relationship. When I do those things, there is a expectation that you treat me with the same respect that I am courting you with. That when I do open that door for you, you say thank you. That when I do pay for that lunch for you, you acknowledge it. And that you do your side and that you offer something in return. I don't know what that is. There needs to be something. There isn't just this expectation of one side of the relationship with no reciprocation from the other. That's not a relationship. That's a fucking parasite. Now, this is the last clip that we've gotten. This is the last clip that we've gotten from anybody because no one has said anything for the last 3 or so weeks, whether it's been from Akaash, whether it's been from the wife. We haven't gotten a word from anyone addressing this online. Not that they need to, but I'm sure because content goes that way, we're going to get something from somebody. But this is the last episode of the Gold Diggers podcast, where who gives a shit and who actually watches this garbage. But she dropped some more knowledge for us men on what a real man does for his wife. Let's take a listen.
Where the fuck has chivalry gone?
Yeah,
Where has chivalry gone? Like, why do these men who make $60,000 a year talking about gold diggers, you don't have any gold to dig. You don't have to worry. You don't even have to worry about it. It's like,
imagine how pretentious you got to be to, in one sentence, say, where has chivalry gone? As if to say, where are the men that will go out of their way to court women? And then in the next breath, shit on every man that makes under a certain amount you think is worthy of you even talking to them, which proves why no one is chivalrous to you and why you have roped in this relationship with the poor guy, Akaash, that had never had a girl even fucking wink at him, I guess, and didn't know how to delineate between someone that really enjoyed his time, that really wanted to build a relationship with him, and someone that looked at his bank account and said, yes, please, I'll play the part of wife and do as little as possible to take your money. So not only is she a piece of shit for acting as though she deserves all the monetary value of her husband, but then she wants every man that makes under a certain number, which, by the way, is $60,000 a year, is more than she is making. I can almost guarantee that. With her 0 jobs and her podcast that's supposed to make her into a content superstar, getting about like 5,000 views per episode. In YouTube talk, she's making pennies on the dollar. Who the fuck is she to talk about who makes 60 grand a year while she sits on her fucking lazy ass and does nothing? You, ma'am, have no gold, which is why you dig it out of this man's fucking soul every day, continually driving him to the loop of insanity.
bro, we're not even talking about you, because the guys that are actually in the 1% tax bracket, they want to do like the things that my husband and Nav are doing. They want to take care of women. They don't want us to be stressed. They want to be in our they want us to be in our divine feminine energy. Investing in your
I mean, I've never heard more words said without a point being made. They want them to be in their divine feminine energy. The fuck is she even talking about? Like, just make words up and then say only men in the 1% know how to treat a lady, because to her, treating a lady well means spending fucking tons of money on her, not being in love with them, not creating a baby with them, not creating kids and a family and providing the best they can. This lady's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Talking about the 1%ers. Fuck you and everything you stand for. You stupid fucking bitch.
Wife is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have. Investing in your wife is not a financial burden, because when you treat your wife like a princess or a queen, you spoil her, you give her stuff, you just let her be able to relax, she gets into this divine feminine energy, this divine feminine aura. In return, she starts taking care of you. And
oh, let's hear how she takes care of her husband, with her no doing dishes, no cleaning, no taking the dog out, no getting a job, no doing anything to de-stress him, except spread her legs like she did for apparently 10 years before they got married.
a much better way. She's so emotionally supportive of you, because women are so strong in their EQ and how they can take care of men and like really comfort them on this level that they, really haven't gotten since they were with their moms, and not mothering them, but just like giving them that emotional support. And that energy gets rewarded in the universe. It starts coming back to you. And I can say,
fucking word vomit, dude. Like actual mouth diarrhea is what I heard. This girl is 5,000% one of these zodiac astrology girls that talks about fucking women's divine femininity and giving the universe energy and being emotionally available. Shut the fuck up and get in the goddamn kitchen and make a fucking sandwich. And I don't even like being like that, because I would never act like that to my girlfriend or to any other female in my life. But you know what they wouldn't do is spew off some bullshit like that in a relationship that I'm involved in, because I am not a moron like Akaash that gets into relationships with women that don't provide anything in the relationship. It's so, I keep saying it over and over, but this is not, her idea of a relationship is not what it is. She wants a daddy. She wants a father, a sugar daddy, a person to spend money on her and leave her the fuck alone. She does not want someone to actually be in a relationship, challenge her intellectually, push her to be a better person, not only in her personal life, but in her professional one. Ask her tough questions. Build a bond that it is both of them and not yours and yours, but ours collectively, and eventually make her pull her weight in a relationship, because that's what it is. Both people deserve to be happy in a relationship. Both of them, not one at the fucking behest and the crippling of the other. And she is ass backwards with her thinking.
I am like a case in point example. Like even before my husband really started making money, he always would find little ways to spoil me, even if it didn't cost that much in the beginning. And now like we've gone from like him buying me like AirPods or like Nike shoes to now like, spending so much money at Miu Miu or Cartier or whatever. And I'm not saying that to be braggy. I'm saying that
she has only spoken about money for what her husband does for her. This is so fucking sad. This entire conversation that she's having with herself is about men, you better spend money or else you have no value.
I've seen this principle like really, really work. And I truly believe that like a man that takes care of his wife is like blessed by the universe. He's a real man.
Not a man that takes care of his wife by providing her with protection, with strength, with shelter, with, again, whatever he can afford as far as food and clothes, and doing the things a man does, which is, yes, provide items at certain points, but is there as the person to lean on, that does carry a burden with him, to make sure she does feel special, to make sure she is the only one he has eyes for, that is there emotionally for her. All these things that everybody fucking knows except her. All she wants is someone to whip out the fucking wallet and see which MasterCard is available.
That is a real provider that like, I keep bringing up spirituality into this, but I feel like that's what God-fearing men do, like
Jesus.
True alphas. And so like when I was training my dog, this is no joke, I read this dog training book, and it says in the book, like the true alpha of the pack is not the dog that barks all the time, is super defensive, insecure. Like, those are the red pill guys. The true alpha of the pack is the calm one.
The quiet.
The like leads with dignity and this like stature and this grace. And let's face it, men are like dogs. Like,
fuck you. Yeah. The man that leads is the one that lets his wife run up his fucking credit card, tells him to shut up in every interaction they have, doesn't have a strict or stern bone in his body, lets her walk all over him. If he was a fucking doormat, he'd be filled with mud, rocks, and grass for as much as she has scuffed her feet on his fucking face. That's what a true alpha is. Not someone that'll stand up for themselves, not someone that wants an equal part of the relationship. It's the guy that's quiet and shuts the fuck up and lets her do whatever she wants. Because let's admit it, guys are like dogs. And she wants a Yorkie with its vocal cords ripped out. I don't know.
you know, so it's like,
Yeah.
the analogy fits.
If the shoe.
No, so I was gonna say the same thing about Akaash. Like, I think the happy wife, happy life is more just like, women are so in tune with their emotions. We go through like week over week fluctuations. So one, we can't always be on it every week like how men can. And number two, it's like we give them like this kind of comfort and emotional support and stability that they wouldn't be able to get otherwise. You know what I mean? It's like how they say, like, behind every great man, what do they say?
Behind every great man is a successful woman.
No, behind every successful man
is a woman.
Wait, what is it?
What's the saying? Is a great woman.
Oh,
that was anticlimactic.
Yeah, for some reason, she didn't like the actual analogy. She didn't like it when the man was successful and the woman was just great. She needed the woman to be successful and be in front of the man. That's how she needed to see it. Spitting on him and kicking him. 3 minutes of fucking nothing, of yapping about auras and fucking chakras and spiritual healing. But we'll end off this dive down into the absolute slums, into the complete dumps that is the soul of Akaash Singh and his wife needlessly stomping on it, with the last bit of information that we potentially have gotten from this entire thing. Do we remember this?
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this.
wow.
Do
And
you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what?
Yeah.
But she was like,
as you should have been.
She was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sometimes I
22, 31. Akaash, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's probably a fucking duck, dude. She's 22, you're 31. She's lying right in front of your face talking about, I've had no sexual partners. You think it's sketchy. It's clear if you just used a little bit of common sense, you would have avoided this entire mess. But here is her to jog everyone's memory.
get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying.
So we've already seen this one. Living her best life in the frat boy houses, in the white boy frat boy houses. And we may have had a picture from said white boy frat boy houses. This is who she was popping the pussy for. John, Mark, and James, dude. There it is, and there it was. Again, I don't know if these individuals, what happened with them, what's going on, but this picture has come up. If this is the roster that Akaash Singh's wife was talking about from the college days, please delete this. Oh my God, comedians cooking Akaash? Oh, that's got to be Sora. No. Yeah, man, that she rotated through, as she said. Yes, this was the gangbang nostalgia that she had. Dude, I mean, it's unfortunate. It really is. As much as I want to sit here and I want to laugh and talk about this, I do. Again, I said this in the last video. I feel bad for the guy. I do. But I don't know how bad I'm supposed to feel when he is absolutely going to run defense for his wife. And again, stand by your lady. That's the decision you made. But it's clear as day what's going on here. Open your fucking eyes, Akaash. And it may be too late because there is no prenup, but I just think save yourself while you can. Do what you want. It's your life. But if this is how the marriage is now, it's only going to get worse. Apparently, they're going to address it on Flagrant in the next couple of days. I'm sure she'll address it on her podcast. So whatever updates we get, we'll come back with. But this thing is getting worse and worse and worse by the day. And I don't even think we're even close to it being done. I don't even think we're close to finding the depths of hell that we are going to go to with this. But what happens next? Guess we'll find out.